Very good afternoon, friends. This is C.A. Sangam Agrawal, and I welcome you on another afternoon, in a very beautiful afternoon and sunny afternoon. On behalf of Association of Professionals, we have bring another session for you. This time, our session is very unique, and this kind of session is very rarely conducted by any association or any institute. So, friend, today we have a session on the office management for professionals, and especially for chartered accountants. So for that, we have a CA Vaibhav Jain for this session. And friend, the uniqueness of this session, we are mostly keeping in mind the SMPs, small and medium practitioners, because somehow a small uh, chartered accountant firm need to cope with many things like office management, client handling, performance, staff, and many other things they used to tackle. And as you know that the deadlines, pressure of the client, things, there are many things, and managing our office is one of the very tedious tasks for all the professionals. So keeping in mind these factors, we have organized today's session so that we have some basic ideas and things which we can incorporate and include in our office so that our working can be more smooth and we can serve our society in a best possible manner. So friends, I will not take much time and give brief intro of our today's speaker, CA Web Jain. He is a basically commerce graduate. Along with that, he is a fellow member of ICI. He is a law graduate also. He is the associate member of company secretary. He done his master in business finance from ICI. He also completed FAFD course from ICI. He is the registered valuer and he is the among first registered valuer of India. Apart from that, friends, he is the independent certified independent director. He is the currently partner with Mehra Goel and Company Chartered Accountants. He specialized in the field of valuation, GST advisory, assurance, risk advisory, business strategy, and financial advisory. He has also designed management information and reporting systems for many companies. He has been a special invitee for IFRS in India's implementation committee of ICI. He has been faculty at GST Point, a call-in session for members and students at ICSI HO Lodi Road. He is a visiting faculty to various forums like ICI, ICSI, CII, Association of National Exchange Members of India, PhD, CCI, etc. He has been joined Mehra Goel and Company Chartered Accountants in April 2018. It is among the leading financial tax advisory and assurance firm in India. He has been worked for 3 years in assurance and business advisory service of Lovelock and Lewis Chartered Accountants firm 2007 to 2010. Lovelock and Lewis is a member of the global professional service firm Pricewaterhouse International Limited. He has been practiced in the area of GST, IFRS 6 advisory and valuation since March 2010. He is the director at Inmax Limited. He is the independent director of the board of Jacon Technology, subsidiary of Australian MNC. Although friends, in the small age, we have gone too much experience in the different fields, but today we are not going to talk about any technical part. Instead, we will discuss on the management of office for chartered accountants and professionals. So friends, hope you will get the key points which will be a takeaway for the sessions and implement in our offices. Many chartered accountant thinks that it is very difficult to make a change in the office, and somehow costing is also another issue. But friends, trust me, if we will make a small changes in our office, it become a very easy to cope up with the many things which become very difficult for all of us. So I request Vaibhav to give some advice also to try to how to handle the manpower also, because manpower is one of the challenge in current scenario, because of after COVID, staff is very shortfall and it is very difficult for a CA firm to get a new staff also. So he will also discuss this part. So friends, I will not take your much time and start our important topic. For this, friends, I will request you, you can ask your question in the comment section. We will try to take your all the question at the end only. If any question related to the current topic, then we can also include in the current session, in between the session. And friends, if we will use any kind of PPT, we will provide you the PPT also via link in the comment section. And friends, at last, I request you all kindly like and subscribe our channel and this session so that you can get the information of upcoming session. We have already conducted more than 60 sessions for you on a different topic. Our ultimate motto to provide knowledge, share knowledge, and provide knowledge so that it can be useful for the all the fraternity. With this note, I invite CA Vaibhav Jain to take this deliberation forward. Over to you.
Good afternoon, friends, and thank you, Sangamji, for such nice and heavy introduction. I am a practitioner with only 10 years of standing, and I am sure there are many members with much larger experience and track record who might be hearing me. So, what I've tried to do is actually I've tried to weave my personal experience as to how I have been utilizing technology to manage my team. And we have an in-house server which we implemented in our office. We have firewall, we have VPN which we have been using, and this is something which we have been using even pre-COVID. So this is not that COVID came and we started using it, because data is actually very critical in our profession. The real data is actually in soft form. However many printouts or files we may create, still there is a lot of data which remains only in soft form. So it is very important to preserve that data. And we all know that we always face challenges where our staff keeps on changing. Most of the time, stays for 1 season. Sometimes, if we are lucky, they stay for 2 seasons. But beyond that, it is very difficult to retain the old staff. We can work hard and retain 1 or 2 people out of the old team, or maybe 3 people or 5 people. But yes, about 90% of our team changes with an average tenure of 2 years. And that is where the data sanitization, as well as storage, and as well as confidentiality becomes very, very important. I can say that COVID has come as a boon, at least for this particular aspect, because all our professional brothers have started thinking that how we can adopt this technology. This Google Meet, this Zoom meetings, this Microsoft Teams, all used to exist even when COVID had not come. But the way all of us have adapted to this change in technology, because as Indians, we have two habits. Till the time we are pushed, we will not pick it up. So now the writing on the wall is very clear that we need to adopt this technology. We need to adapt to this technology. And I can tell you our clients are very happy, because staff used to spend a month and a half auditing. There used to be a huge out-of-pocket expense burden which used to be there on the client. At the same time, we were not able to monitor the staff that deeply, because as a proprietor or as a partner, I can go to only maybe one client or two clients in a day. And I have to also attend to office, to routine advisories and opinions and signing matters. So at best, I can visit one client or maybe two clients if they are nearby in a day. And none of us can work without maybe 30 clients or 40 clients, because without that, there will be no survival. So in that mechanism, you can't visit a client place more than once in a fortnight, unless the client is very large. And for smaller clients, you may be visiting them once a month. Now, in that scenario, it is very impossible to monitor the team on a daily basis. And as soon as the team grows beyond 5 or 7, one has to put in some systems in place to see whether the people are actually working. Everybody expects that there is a good rise, there is a good incentive. But whether they have actually put in the effort to allow the firm to afford that rise and incentive, which their years of experience will demand. So I think it is very important, rather than talking to people in a negative way at the appraisal cycle, it is very important to keep on pushing them and guiding them to do their work in a better way. At the same time, I have realized one more phenomenon. Earlier, we used to allocate one particular staff on one client or two clients. But now we can work maybe a same set of 4 or 5 team members, which has got a senior chartered accountant, which has got a fresher or 0 to 2 years post-qualification chartered accountant, and which has got 5, 6 trainees. That kind of, we have created multiple teams in our office, and every team is able to handle 5, 7 clients simultaneously, because none of them is visiting client's place. Everybody is sitting in office. Of course, earlier we were working from home. Now we are fully back in office 100%. So everybody is working in office, and even while all of us are in office, we can't live without this technology. I can tell you that. So technology is not something that is required only when we were working from home. The collaborative tools which which they give, they help us a lot. I'll also show you briefly the system and the software which we are using. And I'll also take you through my presentation, which gives you an overview of what all things one needs to look at. I'll broadly start with the presentation, and towards the end, I'll try and show you that how I have personally implemented it in my office and how I have used it. I may also have some scope of learning, but I'll bring out the knowledge whatever I have till now. And of course, people can also give their inputs that, Vaibhav, why don't you try this? This is also very good. We have used it. So just a second. Let me share my presentation. Yeah, hope my screen has got visible to everybody.
Yes, it's visible.
So when we, I have slightly modified the wordings of the topic which Sangamji gave me, because I think it is not only office management, it is the complete transformation which all of us need to go through to bring technology into our system and accordingly work. And there is nothing wrong in working from home. Office has its own essential essence, and we all understand that most of the professional firm offices are made at about 25% of staff capacity. So if all the staff simultaneously comes to office, we may not even have proper place to sit for them with the current infrastructure in place. Accordingly, we may have to keep some of the teams on work from home, or maybe allow them to come to office maybe 2 days a week, so that the proprietor and the partner concerned can review their work and also guide them that what they need to do in the balance 4 days. So accordingly, maybe 1/3 time they are in office. So we are accountants, or maybe we have company secretaries also, and cost accountants also, some of them who have joined this program, and we are discussing technology. So no technology, no future. I think this is something which is a writing on the wall, and the sooner we accept it, the better it is. Of course, we are discussing this because COVID came. Without that, this topic may or may not be picked up so proficiently by the profession. Now I need to go to certain basics as to where we are and what we are doing. So most SME firms rely on decentralized storage. That means we all have desktops, or maybe some desktop servers, or we take backups in external hard drives, or we have shared drives in desktops through which the data is stored. And most of the times, after 2-3 years, this desktop is good for nothing, because the hard disk becomes full and the RAM is not enough to support the shared system load. And there are laptops for key resources. Still, most of us do not have a laptop for every team member in our office, because it has been every capex. We all have limitations as to how much capex we can take up as a firm. Result: when people change, we lose data. And even when we have not lost data, there is nobody who can tell us where which data is stored, where what is lying, unless and until the proprietor or partner himself is hands-on as to where what data is being stored. And then also there is, sometimes you have a bad day with one particular resource, and he does a shift delete on your server. So there is no security control as to where that data can be retrieved from. What must change? We need to have laptops in place for all staff members, including trainees. I think this is most mandatory. We can't live without it. Whether we take them on rent, whether we ask people to bring in their own laptops and we allow them to use that, along with some security software being installed on those laptops so that office data is safe, and maybe compensating them in their remuneration with a laptop allowance or something. Because I understand that it may not be possible for every firm to take up such a big capex at one go. Internet connectivity of appropriate bandwidth has to be there at staff residences as well as in office. Whether the staff can themselves afford it or the firm gives them some allowance so that they can afford it. I think this is again an issue which every firm need to consider at their level, and there need not be a blanket decision for everybody. For some people who cannot afford it, we can always support them, and most of the people will already have a good internet connection at place. There has to be a central server. Proper server has to be there, whether it is a cloud server or it is a in-office server. Now, a cloud server may sometimes, there can be a limitation which you may keep that, it gives you per user access. So most of the cloud servers, they charge you as a per login ID basis. So sometimes there is a tendency that, people use to share logins. That means they'll ask 4 or 5 people to use the same login ID and password and store the data. Again, we are compromising with the ownership of the data, because then thereafter you cannot fix responsibility as which of the 5 people deleted that data in case there is a deletion. There has to be some sort of a IT security manager, need not be a IT guy. Has to be, it could be a good staff member who is IT vigilant, some youngster in the office who understands and implements the security controls. That means every client server, every client folder need not be accessed by all staff members. The staff members need to access client data only need to know basis. So maybe this year as well as last year can be given to the current team as a access. As soon as the audit is completed, the last year access goes away. As soon as the filing is completed, the current year access also goes away. We cannot leave our access open. And in any case, access to past years will not be open even to people other than maybe partners can have that access continued open, because they may need, or maybe sometimes you may have 143 cases, scrutiny cases going on, or 148 income escaping assessment cases going on, and you may wish to access that data to get client supporting documents. But then there is a specific tax team resource for whom this access needs to be opened or need to access basis, and thereafter, after the work is over, this access needs to be closed. Most of the times accesses are given, but they are never withdrawn. So we need to have an access withdraw policy, or we need to have an auto reset policy that maybe after every 45 days, all the accesses will go to default versions, and all the accesses which were approved as violations, they need to be reapproved and re-given. Some sort of a security control need to be implemented. And all this may sound very difficult. All this may sound very cumbersome, but there are dashboards which are available, even by which even your children who are in class 8th, 9th, they will be able to do it. You don't need a technocrat. These days there is a advertisement, there is an app, mobile app which has come, which small young children can create mobile apps. There are websites which have come. So we all know that and the new education policy which government has brought, the role we see of technology as a pillar in the whole education system. We all know that without technology is no more for engineers or IT guys. Every person who is working, we are all in IT and IT enabled services. Even a chartered accountant is today delivering a IT enabled services. A company secretary is also delivering IT enabled service. Our income tax assessments are online. Our CIT appeal is now online. We are talking of faceless assessments. We know that we are we have to become technology savvy. There is no second thought about it. It's obvious we need to learn. We need to access our data, our softwares, and of course the passwords and digital signatures. This is something which still remains. Digital signature had come in soft form for a period of year or two, but thereafter, due to security reasons, it is now again turned back to pen drives. And now when it is turned back to pen drive, those need to be physically applied. So which individual in our office will have possession of those digital signatures and how they are using it? Whether every use of digital signature We are maintaining an audit trail of authorization from the client, because tomorrow there can be a scenario where client tells us you have used my digital signature without my permission. So we as a firm follow this practice that whenever we are affixing digital signature of the client or any form, we send them an email along with the form with all its attachments. Dear sir, kindly approve so that we can affix your DSC. And we get a response, yes, please do so. And the client also has to attach the form while replying. While replying, the attachment cannot be deleted. Because if the attachment is deleted, I cannot be sure of which version the client approved. These are precautions which we need to take. Is that enough? So that's not enough. That's not going to allow us to manage our office, because data is only one piece of the office management. The challenges which we face is our clients. How do I get a new client? Client acquisition. We are all sitting in homes or offices. We are not going out to parties. We are not going out to conferences. We are not going. So we in any case do not advertise. So how do we acquire clients? There are restrictions as to what we can post on social media. There are restrictions on what we can display on our websites. There are restrictions everywhere, but we need to find a way how to acquire new clients and how to service existing clients. Normally we'll visit a client, we'll have a tea or a coffee together, and we will talk for 1 hour on non-academic topics, non-technical topics. And somehow from the discussion, it will emerge that the client is looking to take up a new project. And for that project, you offer that, okay, I can do your company incorporation, I can help you with shareholders agreement, I can help you with the investors, strategic investors agreement, I can help you with valuation piece. So these are all discussions which come out while you service an existing client. You get opportunities for new businesses. And how do you retain clients? That's also very important, because there is somebody or the other who is digitally or fidgetily. Fidgetily is the new term. That means a combination of physical and digital, touching your client now and then. And in case you lose the touch to your client, there is a difficulty that your client may turn away. So acquiring, servicing and retaining clients is going to be very challenging. And it is important that we, as a firm, we have a newsletter, we have updates, there's no need to send it to 10,000 people. Send it to 200, 300, 500 clients. There is no need for it to look very beautiful, but it has to be very crisp. It has to be the information which he needs. It has to be customized in a way that he feels, okay, my chartered accountant cares for me. He's even in this lockdown and COVID scenario, he's thinking about my business. For example, I'll give you a very small example. I received a study from CII. It said this is about 2 months back. It said that there is a tendency of people to buy, bikes and low-cost cars, which is going to come up. And we as a firm, we do a lot of automobile component clients. So I sent out a specialized designed emailer as to what my clients need to do, how they need to switch their product lines, what kind of discussions they need to do, and whether they should succumb to pressures of cost reduction or margin reduction, or they should not. And I can tell you the kind of message we designed and sent, it has strengthened our relationship deeply. And we've also grown our business with those existing clients, even in these 2 months. Of course, clients, once you start working from your office, clients will say, सर आप तो सेम ही टीम से जो है 3 लोगों का काम कर रहे हो, आपकी कॉस्ट तो कम हो गई, आप थोड़ा पैसे कम कर लो. They'll come back, or they may say, sir हमारा तो बिजनेस अभी आज इस साल चल ही नहीं रहा है, इस साल पैसे कम कर लो. एक बार पैसे कम करना बहुत आसान है, पैसे वापस बढ़ाना बहुत मुश्किल है. I think we all know this. So we need to tell the client politely that, sir, my costs have not gone down. We have not reduced staff salaries. My staff salaries remain same. We have not left our offices. And we are back to our office. We are working from office, whether you are working from home or you are working from factory, whether you are allowing us to enter into your business premises or not, we are working from our office. Then nothing has changed. In fact, my costs have gone up because my staff, which used to come to your office, in your office and operate from there, they were never a burden on my office infrastructure. But now all of them need to be supported by me. Further, I have also invested on technology so that I can serve you better. So I've incurred additional expenditure. And secondly, you have already saved the out-of-pocket expenses which the staff used to charge in terms of conveyance, traveling, hotel stay. All that has gone down. Plus, whatever meeting rooms and whatever area we used to occupy in your premises, that burden has also gone down. Can we do the audits completely remotely? The answer is no. We need to verify the stocks. We need to verify the vouchers. And I can tell you the audit in March 20 was less challenging. The audits in March 21 is going to be even more challenging. Because I have experienced this with my client, because we carry out interim limited reviews also. Most of the clients do not have voucher files. They have not printed the bills. The bills have not even physically come to them, and they are availing input tax credits. They are deducting TDS. The returns are being filed, and most of the physical record which used to form audit evidence is now not even existing at client place for last 6 months. Of course, clients are already aware about it. They are taking steps, but we as chartered accountants, while we are doing next year audit, we will have to be more focused about it. And we have already insisted to our clients. So there's a large infrastructure client. I had a call with them yesterday. I told them that you have a central warehouse who does the storage. That warehouse is operational. Why don't you allow us to depute one staff there, and on a concurrent basis, we'll verify that all the vendors are submitting the bills in exactly the same manner as the scanned invoice based on which we had processed the payment. And we need to tell them that these are the serial numbers in your SAP invoices for which physical bills do not exist in your document management system, which is the physical document management system. So that kind of a service. So there are additional opportunities which these challenges have brought to us, and we need to pounce on and discuss and dwell upon with our clients as to where we can support them. And of course, he said that he's going to think, and he liked the idea. He said that this is a fantastic idea, and if Vaibhav you can do it, it will be a great service to us. Now, services helping clients in surviving. Reduced scope public requirement for advisory services. This is a challenge. So for this challenge, we need to see that where the services are now required. Whether the client, due to non-stability, is the client looking at a succession planning? Is the client looking for a corporate restructuring wherein he can restructure the way his business is working? Is the client looking for a new area of operation because maybe his existing business, in the business model in which he was working, is no longer profitable? Because maybe a lot of our clients who were in restaurant business, they have shut shops and they've shifted to other businesses, or at least they have shut shops already. But he's a promoter, he will not sit unemployed, so he'll have to open something. So we are already in talks, we are already proposing him that this is a business which is available for sale, or you could do this, you could do that. As chartered accountants, our job is not only to complete books of accounts and file tax returns, because if we limit ourselves there, then of course it will be difficult to survive in this area. The teams have preference to work from home. There is a resistance to a lower salary. There is a lack of adequate infrastructure. Somebody will say, sir, I have only 1 GB data in my mobile hotspot, and that hotspot data runs out in 2 hours. But he wants to claim salary for full day. So he need to ensure that he is always available. And at least, and there is a tendency for principals and firms to allow their people to work at timings of their convenience while working from home. I think this is the biggest mistake. We need to ensure that the office still needs to function from 10 to 7 or 10 to 6:30 or whatever is your office time. We need to be available sharp at 10. We need to be on our systems, and there has to be a in-office messenger or some other mechanism by which we are monitoring work. Audit, accounting, corporate law seem to have some disruptive trends. There is a digital disruption. There is a rise of artificial intelligence. machine learning, blockchain, automation, IoT, and mobile. All these might sound like jargons, but they are realities. All these things will reduce the audit requirement, which is physical. There will be soon artificial intelligence based softwares. There are already softwares which are implemented by industries and companies for their internal use. Maybe as audit firms, we are not using it, but companies have started using it. My clients have put crawlers, machine crawlers on their SAP system, who keep on reading narrations, who keep on studying the trends of vouchers, and they give an observation report which comes to me because I act as a retainership consultant to them. That those reports come to me that, okay, these are the observations which the crawler could find out. Can you dig into SAP and see whether they are right or not? And thereafter, I study them and I formulate them into some sort of a observation matrix which goes to the client for decision making as to this is where our business is going wrong. So this provides a lot of business intelligence reporting also. Do it yourself approach. So there are web tutorials. There is a webinar like we are having now. So this is something to, talk to each other and understand as to learn more trends. YouTube videos. Sangam already told that he has got more than 60 sessions already saved. So in case you have missed a past session or you are looking for a particular session, you can go and search on his YouTube channel. And if you don't find it, he's a very nice man. I know him for last more than 12, 13 years. We are friends from library days. So C Institute library, we used to study together. And you need to do these things yourself. And clients also do these things themselves. They are also learning accounting. They're also learning corporate laws. They're also learning audit. Sometimes an intelligent client will come and tell you, sir, आपने ये तो बताया ही नहीं, ये भी file करना था, right? Because you cannot know everything. There are regulatory reforms, simplification of laws. Of course, we may argue that every time they make it simple, they create a more complication. So, but still, it has simplified a lot. For people who do not have typical nature of businesses, the law is quite simplified. There is an enhanced and easier codification of rules. Clients are quickly adopting digital technologies. CA firms are slow. We need to catch up. There is a digital spree in the government. There is an improved government service enabling direct government-citizen convergence on digital platform. Now, in this scenario where everything from government side is also going digital, from client side is also going digital, if we do not catch up, maybe we'll be out of age. And there'll be some other professional who will come in and say that, okay, your chartered accountant is not able to catch up and give you this service. I'll help you. For example, we see, I'm nothing against any particular name, and I'm using names only to support this process of learning. So, for example, we saw a beautiful software known as ClearTax. ClearTax as a portal is actually the way it is advertising. Most of the people are now going to ClearTax to file their tax returns. Somewhere or the other, it is taking away business of small practitioners. Of course, some of the practitioners also use ClearTax as a portal. So they are also their clients. But somewhere or the other, there are a lot of clients who have directly gone to portal. And ClearTax is only one example, which is one of the more popular examples. There are several other portals who are trying to do so. There's a portal known as India Filings. If any of you have seen it, India Filings is only one name. There are thousands of such portals. They do company incorporations in maybe fees close to whatever is the cost of incorporation from government. The government charges you 3,000 rupees plus 2,000 rupees you spend on DSC. 5,000 rupees is your out-of-pocket cost, and they will incorporate a company at 8,000, 9,000 rupees. So this kind of price challenge, price war, and kind of service, and their services are very, very efficient. So there's nothing wrong with their service, right? Even as chartered accountant firms, sometimes you may feel you are better at India filing से company बनवा लो, मैं खुद क्यों बनाऊं? Why to take such a big professional risk? But we need to realize that in this era, we need to change. We need to start serving our clients digitally. Our website should have a client login interface where clients can upload documents, where clients can post their requirements. They can get ready-made services. They can just click and select and place orders. Some sort of a scenario. How will we work? There will be multiple tasks that we need to complete using different technology. I have listed down some options for all of us to consider. And I can tell you, this is only tip of the iceberg. This is only illustrative. There are thousands of such products available. We need to see which one you want to choose. So I'll focus on these 4 areas: office and IT infrastructure. We have data safety, security, accessibility, own server versus cloud server, team interaction, collaboration, and job tracking. In case of staff management, schedule and track meetings, tasks, etc. Hire, train, track, and monitor staff. Hiring is also a big challenge. Staff do not want to come to office for work. Do you think staff will be very happy to come to office for attending an interview? The answer is no. And most of the time you select somebody and you offer him a salary, he's saying, sir, everything is okay, I'm ready to join, but I can't come to office. Now, how do I train a new team member sitting at home? This is going to be a challenge. Maybe my existing team members, which are working with me for 2 years, 3 years, they can sit at home and I know who does how much delivery, and they also have some sort of a ownership and attachment to the firm. So they will deliver. But how will a new guy sitting at home get everything? How will the office laptop reach him? So these are challenges. Manpower requirement has definitely gone down, and we need to work. All of us are habitual. यार ये audit करना है, इसमें तो पिछले साल 2 महीने लगे थे, तो इस साल भी 2 महीने लगेंगे. और पिछले साल हमने 2 चार्ट अकाउंटेंट और 2 आर्टिकल लगाए थे इस काम को करने के लिए, तो इस साल भी उतने ही लगेंगे. The answer is no, because 50% of our time went in seeking and obtaining data from our clients, and only 50% of the time was in actually doing audit. Now we need to only prepare lists and send requirements, which will be say 1/5 of that time. And whenever that requirement comes on my email or maybe is stored on a shared drive which the client has access to, then I need to process that information. So that is why I said that the same staff which used to do 1 client can now do 2 or 3 clients very easily. There is, in fact, if you are allocating 1 staff member to 1 client, you are wasting your resource, because 1 client in a remote operation will never be able to justify his entire 8 or 9 hours of work. He will always give him enough work to work only for 2 hours, 3 hours in a day. That also sometimes in some days he may say, okay, if I have a deadline, okay, yaar mere ko to TDS ki filing karni hai, and for next 3-4 days I will not give you any data. Clients can always take such kind of stands. So if he does not have another client's data with him or another client's working with him, then for those 4 days your staff also becomes, you can say, underemployed. Cash flow management. We need to track our tasks. We need to ensure every task is built. This is very, very difficult, when you are releasing remote deliverables. What I have done as a practice for myself is I do not generate a UDIN till the time I see the invoice, and I don't sign till the time I have the UDIN. So a deliverable does not go without an invoice. Most of the jobs are deliverable linked, so that you can control in this manner. And we need to manage our expenses. There are a lot of expenses which were much more required when in a pre-COVID scenario. Now those expenses need to be curtailed, and we need to replan on a zero basis. So we might be incurring more expenses on our IT infrastructure. This is something where our budgets need to get allocated, but there will be some savings which we can make. So we need to work on those savings. For clients, we need to have in-house webinars. We need to conduct some special sessions for our clients. You can always seek experts from outside whom you do not see as competition or who are people of trust as your team members. They may not come as their firms, but they can come in as your team member and tell your clients about a particular topic. Reach out to a prospective client digitally, and some other important methods. Now, to set up work from home, we need to have basic housekeeping and sanitization procedures. This I have already covered. To set up every every house, we need to have a designated workplace. That means I need to have, whether it is my dining table, or it is my study table, or it is a table which I procured. But we need to have a table, a chair, a proper lighting system, accessible electricity point for my laptop, a strong Wi-Fi connection, a fan or AC so that I can have comfort. We need to take periodic breaks for meals, tea, coffee, similar way as we do in office. We need to explain the importance of non-interference to our family members while we are working from home. Because if there is continuous interference from family, and this every staff also needs to implement, then it is difficult to honor deadlines. You are in a new environment. You're all sitting at home. This is a new environment. The way you used to store your data, the way you used to keep your hard copy documents has changed. Now you need to do proper housing. Maybe 4 days a week, if you are at home, you need to ensure that what all you created. And after 4 days, when 2 days you go to office, you need to ensure that all those papers go back to files. On implementation of data for accessing of software as well as data, there are different size of firms, and hence there are different models, there are different choices. A typical firm with a 2 to 5 partners, with a few qualified and semi-qualified paid assistant and the article trainee is what I have kept as a benchmark to say what all we may need. Of course, I will tell you that if you are lesser, then how you can plan, and if you are more, then how you should plan. An application for various kind of softwares and data servers on the current data. You need to have a multi-user version of accounting and tax compliance software on the server, like maybe if you have an office server, that desktop you can access through a VPN. I'll explain how we do so. And a network accessible storage device for data backup, which is set in your office. Again, this is also accessible from home using your VPN. Then a combination of desktops and laptops. In a work from home environment, there are two choices. You can enable this current infrastructure from home via VPN, or you shift to a virtually private server, that is a cloud. Virtual private server is a different name for a cloud. And instead of an in-office server, you can shift to cloud. Cloud already comes with a VPN and a login, access security. All those things are pre-implemented. And firms with less than 35-40 people, cloud works out to be financially more viable. Firms with more than 35-40 people, why I'm giving these numbers is because I've done those thought processes myself. For a firm with larger than 35 people, maybe an in-office server will work out to be cheaper, because in-office server has capital cost, it has got VPN license cost, it has also got your electricity cost. A server will have a requirement for your air conditioner to be running 24/7. So one AC's cost for 24/7 in office is also something which one needs to consider while we are comparing it with the cloud server. Because otherwise, if you are not adding all the costs, then sometimes on the cloud server you may say that okay, cloud is very costly, but maybe you have not considered all the costs which an in-office server has. And while incurring, so that data security, integrity, and confidentiality, we need to have strong password policy. We need to have proper sign-in, and we need to have unique password for every account or device to ensure that all accounts are not compromised in one go. So we have threats from internal as well as external people. So we need to be careful about it. Now there are certain important software tools which one need to consider. For collaboration, Microsoft Teams is very, you can say, easy and widely used tool. And the advantage of using Microsoft Teams is that most of our clients are also using Microsoft Teams. So that is why a client interaction becomes easier. Slack, Discord, Chanty, Zoho Workplace, these are other tools. Zoho also is a little costly solution, but again, it is also a very good solution. So one needs to see as to where our budgets are, but we need something or the other to collaborate. Some practice management software like CA Dashboard provides you a good practice management software, CCH iFirm, ERP CA, Finwall, MyTaskCo, Papilio, Jumpco. And I'm telling you, these softwares are not in order of preferences. So maybe if I've written Jumpco at the bottom, it is not necessary that it is the least preferred software. In fact, to me personally, in the entire list, Jumpco seems to be most appealing. Papilio is little costly. Otherwise, Papilio is also very good software. Jumpco is very affordable. Ticketing tool, Freshdesk, HubStop, Bittrex24, Zohodesk. These are all ticketing tools. So like you do a ticket for, on an online Amazon.com if you have purchased something and you raise a ticket. Similarly, your clients can also raise a ticket if you use this tool. So the clients, whatever their requirements are, they get attended properly, you can see. Because in a remote environment, there are tendency of missing out onto client needs. We need to have a password management tool also so that we can save all the passwords, there are so many passwords these days, income tax login, GST login, TDS login. It is impossible to, memorize them. So it is important to have a password management tool. Some sort of a project management software, Trello, Asana, Bittrex24 or Zoho projects. VPN, you can do a AWS, GoDaddy, Bluehost, Google, and there are several other VPN service providers. Document scanning, you have OneDrive mobile app, you also have Google Scanner, and you have Cam Scanner. And then there are other apps which are there, because while at home we do not have proper scanners, so it is important to use some app to scan and share data wherever we have some requirement. There's some software vendors which there's a committee in ICI for small and medium practitioners. They've recently renamed this committee to Committee for Members in Practice, because they realize that even large firms will need their support. Tally, this is the accounting software. They already have a discount worked out. Xbase, XBRL, so up to 10 clients, this software is free. Beyond that, it is chargeable. Express GST is a GST filing software. This is free for 1 year for 5 GST. EFF, Caudal, Hostbooks, Tax Cloud, Simplify. This Clockify is a timesheet software. It is not a full office management software, but it is a good software and it is available for free. So I think when it is available for free, it is easy to experiment. It's a decent software. I've used it. Though of course now we do not use it because we have a customized in-office software. Enable current infrastructure, keep the server on, install a VPN, and install firewall to enhance the security of the server. I think this is something which we need to do. And apart from this, one can set up client folders, assignment folder, and access control to monitor the deleted files. I think this is all one needs to do if you want to use your own server. In case you want to shift to a VPS or a cloud server, you can host this software of VPS and it can access by the team members via a remote application on their desktops or big laptops. Issues with using cloud, security is a challenge. So it is very important that you take a proper licensed cloud software which has got securities in place. Well-planned rules are there for access rights. There's a robust internet connectivity which is required at home, because whenever you are sending data or you are receiving data, all that time the bandwidth consumption is very high. How do we protect data on the cloud? We need to have firewalls in place. Apart from the firewall which the cloud provider is using, there is a possibility that we can install our own firewall also as an additional, you can say. How do you move data? You have data on your hard disk or you have data on your desktops. FileZilla, Enterprise DT, these are all free softwares. You can just put them and they'll take your data to the cloud very fast. I think this is something which I have designed as a diagram as to how we use it in our office. So there's an internet service provider on top. He talks to a router. router thereafter it goes to the firewall. Then there is got another router which goes to the then it takes to the server room in basement. And so that is how, so this firewall and this router, this takes care of our VPN needs. And accordingly, one needs to have a proper firewall in place. This may seem complex, but most of the IT diagrams look like this. So I copied the one which we had for our office. So I've copied it here in the presentation. There's a mandatory firewall requirement and a gateway security suite or a VPN system. These are only multiple names of calling the same thing. Server can host softwares like Tally, Computex, other softwares which are commonly used by staff members. And the data related to these softwares will be saved on the hard disk along with the server. And we, apart from that, we can have a network accessible storage device separately. There is network accessible storage device normally is a rack server, which comes with 12 slots. We can choose the hard disk size as per whatever we want. We can buy it with 2, 3, 4 hard disks in the initial and leave the balance hard disk for expansion scope wherever we will need it. And on a on-premise vis-a-vis a virtual private server, these could be, primary responsibilities, that there's a hardware and OS software firm's responsibility. So these are more on the comparative side. And in any case, I'm going to share this presentation with Sangamji for sharing it further with you. And for work from home, there must be this server must be switched on. In case of virtual server, they're always on. While at office, you can work with local area network in a case of an on-premise server. So that is a bigger advantage because the transfer of data through LAN is much faster as compared to the data transfer through internet. Security is firm's responsibility in case of a on-premise server. And in case of virtual server, there are free or paid options which are available. Backup is firm's responsibility. In case of virtual private server, most of the servers have got cloud mirroring onto remote disaster recovery locations. Now, sometimes when you're working at home, you want to work together with your team. So this is a very good software, AnyDesk. TeamViewer also is a good software. The only thing is that TeamViewer provides you limited time in a free version. AnyDesk is unlimited use and completely free. So you install AnyDesk software on your machine. It's a 1-minute installation, very, very light software. And you just connect to another person, and they also have a AnyDesk software, and they can start seeing your screen. You can even give control of your screen, and it works very well. And most of the lockdown, I worked with AnyDesk, and my mobile I used to put on speaker, and I was discussing with the team. I was able to see his screen through AnyDesk, and I was telling him, okay, you do this now, you do this, and we were able to work together. So that this is something which is very, very important when we are sitting in different locations to work together. We need to interact with client on Outlook, business email, Gmail, others. Video conferencing, Google Meet, Zoom, WebEx, GoToMeeting, BlueJeans, Skype, or Microsoft Teams is also one. I think I missed out here. Then we need to schedule meetings, and we need to track our tasks in an Excel file tracker or a project management software like Asana or Zoho, or a practice management software. I think what we have at whatever scale, what we can do. So if our scale is not very large and we are single control, even an Excel file tracker could work well. So that every time there is a new task, we enter into Excel file, and when we complete, we update status. At whatever time we have reached whatever stage, we keep on updating status. Similar work in larger scale organizations, a project management software or a practice management software can help you do that. Collaboration tools, you have WhatsApp and Telegram we use for direct message. There is no screen sharing possibility. There is no meeting notes. There is no voice call. Voice call, video call has come. File sharing is possible. Focused chatting also you can do through groups. So this is what many firms use. Then Microsoft Teams or Slack allow you collaboration between team members. There is a screen sharing possibility, meeting notes, voice or video call, file sharing. Focus chatting also is there using channels. For calling and meeting, Google Meet, Zoom meeting, and Teams, everything you can use. Meeting notes in case of Google Meet and Zoom are not there. In case of Teams, you can have meeting notes also in place. In case Cisco provides you meeting notes, and file sharing is possible in meetings on a view basis. Sending files, of course, you need to email or share file. Focused chatting is also not very possible in case of Google Meet. In case of task management tools, spreadsheet based tools can be Google or Sheet or Excel based. Then general task of the project management software and practice management software. So practice management software works well on everything, all your expectations. So that is why it is important to have a full practice management software in place. Which software to buy? I think this is something which is organization driven for firms which are more driven on tax practice. Some other software may work. For firms which are predominantly more focused on audit or company law practice, there could be a different software which may work. So I think I've given you an indicative list of the software. I'll request that there is no one software which is good for everybody. One has to evaluate and find out. And there can be some softwares whose names I have not captured while they are good. So one can look at them also. I think this is something which on accessing Tally I created. I thought I'll get that information because Tally is something which is very, very important for all of us. So there's a built-in remote access. There is a nil cost. There is a remote desktop license which is free. License fee is required to be paid, and license cost of VPN. If you pay that, then Tally does not charge you anything extra. In case of virtual private server, there is a range of 3,000 to 10,000 per month for hosting your Tally on virtual private server. Tally on cloud is provided by Tally also, which provides that 500 to 1,200 per user per month, depending on the bandwidth and the usage and the features you require. So that is all as far as conceptual clarity is concerned. I'll now briefly take you through how I use Teams in my office and how we use Microsoft. So how we have been using Microsoft in our office and how we have been benefited. I think I'll briefly touch upon that for maybe another 5 minutes, and thereafter I think we can open up the house for questions and interaction with the permission of course, Sangamji. I'll just a second. Let me open up the. Like we took Microsoft Office licenses for all our staff, and this is very simple. We go to office.com and you have Google Word, Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook. So I do a Outlook click and my mailbox will open, of course. When you have OneDrive, they give you 1 TB access to the OneDrive. And then you have OneNote, so you can create notes, whatever you want to, pen down. Like for example, we earlier used to give dictation. So that dictation process is also possible in Word. There is a dictate tool in Word which you can use, and it's very effective. If you're talking clearly, the Word takes it very, very efficiently. SharePoint is anything you want to do as a collaborative tool between your staff. My SharePoint is under development, that is why I'm not able to show. But you can have an intranet website where you can share the upcoming staff trainings, you can share your post, you can share your information, and all this is only and only visible to your own staff. This is not hosted on the web. This is all internal. Then you have Microsoft Teams. Teams, of course, I've opened the app separately because Teams is not something which Teams is very, very effective. So of course, my calendar is here. So whenever I have a meeting, I can block a calendar. And of course, most of the time you will see that I don't have any work. So it's scene free. And then you have this is a in-office channel wherein whatever we want to say, we keep on sending messages to staff that okay, you do this, you do that. So all those messages go, and every staff member is a member. The more than 150 people who are in this group, and then we have, this is a tax team wherein only tax team members are team members. So they, whatever is that work related work I am sending. So see, I assigned somebody that okay, a clarification related to 110, we need to send an update to all our clients, right? So we also implement whatever I have told you that I wish to do. There's a tax audit which he asked me to sign. I generated a UDIN and I sent him. So there are all sorts of usages. The legal team is working here. Then you have my CS team working here. People who work on finance. Then this is top management. There are a lot of issues which you need to do amongst partners. You create a separate group, and none of the other people. There's a very formal way of communication which keeps on happening. There's some large audit related assignment, accounts related. How do we need to do what we need to do? So these are channels. They help a lot. I'm telling you that they help a lot. And then you have chats. So I can type any team member's name and say I type Ajay and I send him an instruction, and he can also send me a chat. And most of those team members, they're online or idle. Of course, today is Sunday, so you'll see most of the people are idle. Otherwise, most of the time these are green dots and everybody is online. So I'm aware that they're online. I can do calls and I can share files. So there are files which I can share. So the Teams is a very, very effective software. And whenever somebody has tagged me somewhere, so I get a notification also in the activity, because there is a possibility that they can tag me on a particular item where they want me to look at it. So I may not necessarily look at all channels all the time. So they will tag me. So I'll track activity. Okay, my activity is reading something. That means somebody wants me to do something. That's why they have tagged me. So that's broadly from my side. I think Sangam, if you can take over.
Okay, Vaibhav, thank you very much. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much for taking a very important topic, which is actually looking for all the professionals. And now let's move to some of the very important questions coming in our chat box. First question is from the CA Hemant Sharma. Do we need static IP for VPN?
Yes, sir. You will need a static IP. It costs you about 99 rupees per month from your internet service provider. So it's not very costly. You will need a static IP.
Okay. And there is another question from CA Amarnath Singlaji. He is a very senior chartered accountant.
मैं
He
जानता हूँ
want
सर.
to ask. Okay, okay. He want to know that sir, how to get a new client in this digital era. How to approach them? What should be a method to get increase the client base?
क्लाइंट्स पहली बात तो रेफरेंस से ही आते हैं हमारे पास, कोई बाहर से क्लाइंट आता नहीं है. So it is very important to interact with our existing clients and keep on updating them about our new, whatever we have done as a development, whatever are the new service areas, whatever are the new technological and other upgradations or technical upgradations which we have done internally, whatever new products we have started offering as a firm. And we need to keep on telling them. And sometimes in a casual way, we can always tell a client that, sir, if you are happy with my services, then you can recommend me to some of your friends. And this is the way we have I get my client. So I think I'm just sharing that. Of course, I'm pretty active on social media also, and I keep on posting updates. I'm not very sure how many clients I get, but yes, there are a lot of references which we get from even TA friends. Because if I work on FEMA side, there could be a friend who does not do FEMA. He can always call. Or if I do carry out forensic audits and he does not do forensic audits, so he can tell Vaibhav, yaar, mere client mein requirement hai. Can you come and do this so that we can as a firm deliver this? So those kind of opportunities are available. Finding a new client has been a challenge even without COVID. So जो प्री कोविड चैलेंज था उसे तो मैं नहीं दूर कर सकता सर. बाकी तो कोविड में बात करनी है, बात एग्जिस्टिंग क्लाइंटों से ई एनवायरनमेंट में करिए. और बहुत सारे ऐसे तरीके आ गए अब तो, जो जैसे हम माइक्रोसॉफ्ट टीम्स में हम लोग क्लाइंट्स के लिए मीटिंग्स करते हैं. So there are a lot of clients which get interested, and there's a deep, in deep rooted meeting which you can do. Otherwise बहुत सारे ऐसे clients हैं जिनसे तो शायद मैं 2-2 साल तक भी नहीं मिलता, बट अभी ये माइक्रोसॉफ्ट टीम्स की वजह से वो जिसका मन करता है वो कहता है मिलना है, मैं कहता हूँ मैं भी मिल लेता हूँ, मेरे भी तो 5 ही मिनट लगते हैं ना, वरना मेरे को जाने में आधा घंटा, उसके ऑफिस जाने में आधा घंटा, आने में, और वहां के 15-20 मिनट तो 1.5 घंटा लगता था, अभी तो 5 मिनट में मीटिंग हो जाती है. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन सर.
There is a next question. It is very important question. How to retain employee? जैसे आपने भी अपने सेशन में कहा कि मैक्सिमम 2 years तक एक एम्प्लॉय को एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं, बट समहाउ क्या होता है कि उससे एफिशिएंसी बहुत फर्क पड़ता है. जो एम्प्लॉय बाबा छोड़ के जाते हैं हमारी कंपनीज को, तो उस पर कैसे वर्कआउट किया जा सकता है कि या फिर हम अपना माइंडसेट बना ले कि 2 साल ही है उसका टर्न हमारे साथ, तो क्या किया जा सकता है इस इशू पे?
देखो, मैंने खुद भी बहुत कोशिश करी है, इसका कोई सोल्यूशन किसी के पास नहीं है. आप उन्हें प्यार से रख सकते हैं, प्यार दे सकते हैं, रिस्पेक्ट दे सकते हैं. सबसे मैं तो जी लगा के बात करता हूँ, ठीक है, और पैसे हम जितने अफोर्ड कर सकते हैं उस हिसाब से हमें मैक्सिमम देने की कोशिश करनी चाहिए. ऑफ कोर्स हमारी भी लिमिटेशंस है कि हमारे क्लाइंट्स ही हमको लिमिटेड पैसे देते हैं, तो देंगे तो उसी थाली में से जो हमें मिलेगी, तो उस थाली को मिल बांट के खाएं. अगर उसमें विजन है और थॉट प्रोसेस है तो वो रुक जाएगा. बाकी जो है हमें ऐसा करना चाहिए कि हमें आइडेंटिफाई भी करना चाहिए थोड़ा बहुत कि कौन से 2-4 टीम मेंबर्स मेरे लिए क्रिटिकल है, और उन्हें रिटेन करने की थोड़ी ज्यादा कोशिश करनी चाहिए, और बाकियों के जाने की थोड़ी कम चिंता करनी चाहिए.
Good reply, Vaibhav. Thank you very much. And there is a next question that now very youngster professionals and people have a tendency to work in any organization for 1 or 2 years. They think that कि 2 साल हो गए, बहुत हो गए, now let's move. तो क्या लगता है ये थिंकिंग ठीक है उनकी, उनको ग्रोथ के अंदर, उनके करियर पाथ के अंदर? पहले आपको क्या लगता है, आप मेरे बात से एग्री करते हो नहीं करते अपनी बात से, इस वाली बात से आप?
नहीं, मेरे को तो ऐसा कुछ लगता है नहीं कि ये यंगस्टर या एक्सपीरियंस्ड को कोई टैग ऐसा देना चाहिए. देखो, मैं भी जब एज अ चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट और आप भी हम क्वालिफाई कर रहे थे 2010 में, तो हमें तो लगता था हम तो दुनिया, मतलब हमारे से बड़ा तो कोई है ही नहीं, ठीक है ना. तो वो आदमी को रियलाइज होता है धीरे धीरे, रियलिटीज ऑफ लाइफ का एक्सपीरियंस होता है. एंड ये सब आई थिंक दिस इज, मेरे को नहीं लगता कि इसमें कोई कुछ कर सकता है. मैंने कहा ना, प्यार से उन्हें समझा सकते हैं. हाउ मच वी आर एबल टू डेवलप अ ट्रस्ट थ्रू अवर कंडक्ट, उतना ही वो हमारी बात मानेंगे. और बाकी मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि अगर मैं ऑनेस्ट हूं इन माय डीलिंग्स विद माय पीपल, तो मेरे लोग भी मेरे साथ ऑनेस्ट ही रहेंगे.
जैसे आपने बताया वैभव कि आप वीडियो तब निकालते जब आप बिल रेस करते, तो इट इज प्रैक्टिकल थिंग या फिर समथिंग थ्योरेटिकल? बिकॉज समटाइम टू बिकम हार्श ऑन, मतलब क्लाइंट को ऐसा लगता है कि वी आर टू हार्श, कि हम काम कंप्लीट नहीं हुआ है, या ऑडिट रिपोर्ट पे पहुंचे नहीं है, बिल पहले पहुंच गया उनके पास.
नहीं, उनके पास थोड़ी पहले पहुंच जाता है, मेरे पास पहले पहुंचता है. देखो, अगर मेरी टैली में बिल की एंट्री हो गई, बिल रेज हो गया, क्लाइंट के पास हो सकता है 5 दिन बाद चला जाए, या हो सकता है कई बार जाना भी मिस हो जाता है, पर वो रिकवरेबल कभी छूटता नहीं, क्योंकि क्लाइंट की 2A में भी अपीयर कर जाता है वो, और मेरे अकाउंट्स की डेटर्स लिस्ट में भी होता है. तो कभी ना कभी रिकवरी आई जाती है. अभी नहीं आएगी, 6 महीने बाद आएगी, 6 महीने बाद नहीं आएगी, साल भर बाद आएगी. बट अगर मैंने साइनिंग कर दी विदाउट जनरेटिंग दी बिल, तो क्या होगा, कई बार बिल जनरेट होना ही रह जाएगा.
नहीं, ये तो बहुत बड़ा फैक्ट है कि बहुत बार ना छोटे मोटे काम के तो बिल रेज हो ही नहीं पाते, वो दिमाग से निकल भी जाते हैं. तो कहने के अगर हम उसको यूडीएल से अटैच कर लेंगे तो एक तरह से वो रिमाइंडर और रिकॉल हो जाएगा हमारे लिए.
मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम मैं तो रेगुलर क्लाइंट्स के लिए भी मैं फीस ईमेल पे एग्री करता हूँ. उसके बाद ही मैं तो क्लाइंट मेरे को कहता है कि काम शुरू कर दो, बहुत अर्जेंट है, बहुत अर्जेंट है. मैं कहा भाई साहब, मैं आपको एक ईमेल भेजिए, आप उस पर रिप्लाई करके ओके लिख दो. कितना ही अर्जेंट हो काम, मैं तभी शुरू करूंगा जब ओके आ जाएगा. क्योंकि क्लाइंट आपका काम कराने से पहले आपको ओके लिखता नहीं है, और बाद में तो उन्हें कभी जीवन में नहीं लिखना ओके.
ये कुछ जिंदगी के बहुत ट्रू सत्य हैं बेसिकली, जिनको जितनी जल्दी पहचाने जाएगा उतना अच्छा है हमारे लिए. और हर तरह का क्लाइंट बेस हमारे पास होता है. जैसे एक थ्योरी है 80-20 वाली, बेसिकली कि जब आपको 80% कम क्लाइंट हमें पैसे देता है, हम उसको 20% टाइम लगाते हैं. मैंने देखा है कि कहीं ना कहीं ये प्रोफेशन में बहुत बड़ा ट्रू है. मतलब मैं बहुत सारे कुलीग से सीए से बात करता हूँ, तो वो जिससे बात करता हूँ कहता है हाँ ऐसा है मेरे पास. बट सर ने हमें इस थ्योरी को चेंज करना चाहिए अपने लिए, और जो क्लाइंट आपको 80% पैसे देता है आपको उस पे 80% टाइम लगाना चाहिए.
नहीं, मैं थोड़ा सा मॉडिफाई करता हूँ. ऐसा नहीं है कि 80% क्लाइंट्स के ऊपर हम 20% टाइम लगाते हैं. 80% क्लाइंट हमें 20% पैसे देते हैं और हम 20% टाइम लगाते हैं, और 20% क्लाइंट हमें 80% पैसे देते हैं, उन पे हम 80% टाइम लगाते हैं. हमें जो जितने पैसे देगा, हमारा तो पेपर यूज है सिस्टम, जो जितने पैसे देगा उसे प्रोराटा उतनी सेवा देनी पड़ेगी भाई, क्या चॉइस है हमारे पास। बल्कि जो क्लाइंट्स हमें कम पैसे देते हैं, शायद कई बार डिस्प्रोपोर्शनेटली उनके ऊपर 20 की जगह 30 जरूर लग जाता है, पर जो 80% पैसे दे रहा है उसके ऊपर 80 लगता है, तो 110% टाइम फालतू काम करते हो आप, इसीलिए करते हो।
मेरा अगला क्वेश्चन वही था कि आजकल प्रोफेशनल्स की बड़ी कंप्लेंट होती है कि टाइम का बहुत ज्यादा, टाइम की बहुत शॉर्टेज है और काम का बहुत ज्यादा प्रेशर है, तो इस चीज को कैसे हैंडल किया जाए प्रोफेशनल लाइफ के अंदर?
इसका कोई इलाज नहीं है। आई थिंक वी नीड टू कंटिन्यू टू अफोर्ड मोर पीपल, ट्रेन मोर पीपल एंड कंटिन्यू टू डेलीगेट। आई थिंक दैट इज द ओनली वे। तो मैं तो अपनी टेबल पे वही काम रखता हूँ जो कोई और नहीं कर सकता ऑफिस में। जो काम कोई और कर सकता है मैं तो कभी नहीं करता। आई थिंक दिस इज द अप्रोच व्हिच वन नीड्स टू अडॉप्ट।
एक वेरी सीनियर चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट है श्री कांता शर्मा जी, उनका कमेंट है कि यंग सीए थिंक दे आर इक्वल टू 30-year-old सीए, दे नीड टू कम अप फ्रॉम दिस मिथ।
मेरे को ऐसा लगता है मैम कि मैंने पहले भी यंग सीएस पे एक कमेंट आया था, मैंने उस पे भी नेगेट करा था। और मतलब थोड़ा मुश्किल है आपने जिनका नाम लिया उनका कमेंट नेगेट करना, बट मेरा पर्सनल व्यू है, दिस इज माय पर्सनल व्यू, नथिंग टू डू विद एसोसिएशन ऑफ प्रोफेशनल्स। मेरा पर्सनल व्यू है ये दोनों ही तरफ है। There are a lot of complacency which develop in a lot of senior professionals without working hard. They want to, say कि यार youngsters को कुछ नहीं आता. So I think there are senior professionals who need to work hard. At the same time, youngsters need to give respect to seniors and respect them for their knowledge and experience. तो दोनों ही तरफ है, दोनों को मेहनत करनी है एक दूसरे के लिए। और मैंने ऐसा कभी फील नहीं करा सर, मैं I joined my profession as a young professional only. अभी भी काफी यंग हूँ मैं, 10 ही साल हुए मुझे प्रोफेशन में। और सीनियर चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स भी प्यार से बात करते हैं और यंगस्टर्स भी प्यार से बात करते हैं, क्योंकि मैं सबसे प्यार से बात करता हूँ।
आई थिंक अभी मैंने ज्यादातर क्वेश्चन को टैकल कर लिया है हमने, और क्वेश्चन बचा नहीं है जिसको हमें टैकल करना है इसके अंदर। तो मैं एक रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा अपने सारे पार्टिसिपेंट से। फ्रेंड, जैसे आपने देखा कि आज का सेशन हमारा इंटरेक्टिव सेशन था, हम और थॉट्स को और आइडियाज को इनवाइट करना चाहते हैं आप लोगों के थ्रू। आपका कोई आइडिया है जो आप अपने ऑफिस में प्रैक्टिकली इंप्लीमेंट करते हैं जिससे हम ये फर्म को एम्पावर कर सकते हैं, तो आप उसको कमेंट में लिख सकते हैं, और सो दैट कि जो भी सेशन देखेगा वो उस कमेंट को पढ़ के भी चीजों को आइडिया लग सकता है। कोई भी प्रैक्टिकल आइडियाज जो आप एक्चुअली इंप्लीमेंट करते हैं अपने फर्म के अंदर, अपने ऑफिस के अंदर, आप प्लीज उसको कमेंट सेक्शन में जरूर लिखें, जिससे कि ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोगों तक ये नॉलेज शेयर हो सके और वो इन आइडियाज को यूज करके अपनी प्रोफेशनल प्रैक्टिस को बढ़ा सके और पब्लिक एट लार्ज को एक अच्छी सर्विस दे सके। यही हमारा अल्टीमेट मोटो है हमारी एसोसिएशन ऑफ प्रोफेशनल के अंदर, कि हम नॉलेज शेयर करें और सारे प्रोफेशनल्स को एम्पावर करें, जिससे कि वो सोसाइटी एट लार्ज को एक बेस्ट वे में सर्विस दे सके। With this note, I express my sincere thanks to Vaibhav Jain to coming on this platform and sharing his very important and useful knowledge with all the professionals, and very good IT tools, especially in IT tools and software, which definitely will help our professional to empower their offices. So with my entire team, Vaibhav, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Seriously, your session was very interactive and very thoughtful.
Thank you. Thank you.
With this note, I am signing off. Thank you very much, friends. I again requesting you all kindly subscribe our channel to get the information of upcoming sessions also. With this note, I am signing off. Thank you very much.
संगम जी, मैंने आपको प्रेजेंटेशन भेज दिया है।
Okay, thank you.
Thank you जी।